So, like we were saying before, excuse me. That's a good way to start episode 50, huh?
It is. Damn, we didn't have it. Didn't end up getting a guest.
No shit. Here,
If you
take
can't
a pillow.
tell.
Take a pillow.
If you
We're
can't
doing
tell.
this. We're doing this on the fly, folks. Just fucking bear with us.
Yeah, no, we're both just a little rough around the edges.
Rough around the edges,
and not because of not like, oh, we were out drinking last night.
No.
No, just where shit's going on in our lives, and it's just not great.
Real panic. Like we were saying before, so I don't believe that you become more selective in your relationships as you get older. I think it's just jaded. I think you know, like you meet, everyone's different, right? So you meet different people, and as you go along, you do find different things to, I don't know, not saying like hate, but you find different reasons not to be with this person, right? And then as you keep going, you keep adding to the list, different girls, whatever, men, whatever it is, and eventually it comes to a point where you just have like a list of things you just don't like. But each person does things differently, right? So, but it depends on who you are. You're gonna hang on to these things, or you're gonna be like, hey, this is just this individual. This individual had a problem with X thing or whatever. I'm not saying it doesn't go two ways. It does. It's a two-way street. But that jadedness is eventually, I think, gonna eat you alive as you get older, right? And that's what a lot of guys run into, right? They go into a 10-year relationship, or they're leaving a 10-year relationship, and they're, at the tail end, the last 2 years are all you really remember.
Yeah.
If it was dog shit, you're going to remember the dog shit.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, cool. So
and then
women in general are going to treat me like this in the end anyways.
Well, and that's the problem with like anyone that gets stuck in their like traumas or whatnot. It's like, say they had a few relationships and they got cheated on. They're like, well, all women are just going to cheat.
Yeah, that's just how it goes.
And that's like super common. And same, you know what I mean? If you have constantly a bad experience, it's hard to distinguish that it is that person, not to just like categorize it as, it'd be like every job I have, I end up not liking.
Yeah.
Well, then it's like, I'm just not meant to work. That's
for real.
That's overgeneralizing and obviously causes a lot of dissatisfaction.
Agreed.
And like just being unhappy. Funny, the way you worded it was very similar to what was it? Either the courage to be disliked or the courage to be happy.
Really?
I forget because I read them back.
Yeah.
I read them back
like,
to back
did
now.
I really like get it that close?
No, like pretty much on the nose. As far as if anyone like Adlerian psychology, I think I talked about it on the last one a little bit because
A little bit. I don't think you named it.
because I've been reading the books. Super good. I'm gonna read Mastery by the same guy, 48 Laws of Power.
Okay.
Apparently it's similar.
Cool.
That's kind of, I don't know. I'm liking that right now.
Neat.
But because
I've been liking Pokemon.
nice. I've also been liking Black Mirror,
I've
the
been
new
doing
season.
Pokemon Platinum on the phone.
I gotta show you one episode from the new season.
Yeah?
Yeah. Ooh, it's good.
Filthy.
Fucking
It's trippy.
yeah. It's like dystopian, super compute, like a little bit in the future. It's crazy.
Cool.
Back on topic though. So about where you'll find things that you don't like and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And the big thing he was talking about kind of on that is if you want to love someone and be with someone, you have to find all the reasons to be with them, not all the reasons not to.
Exactly.
And because if you go into life looking for all the reasons not to do something or not to like something,
Yep.
then you're just going to be like, nothing works out, nothing.
You start feeling resentment towards all these things.
Yeah. And that's like a big thing. And also you have to come in with absolute like mutual respect, even like basically the whole,
This is a big one.
The whole thing is you have to put your best foot forward, not expecting them to do the same.
Exactly right.
And continuing to do that.
Always.
It's goes back to the 10 Commandments. What is it?
Love that.
No,
not
is
love
it?
thy neighbor.
No, the golden rule. Treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
one it
Yeah,
is.
no, that's the one.
Yeah,
That's
the
one.
golden rule. That's basically like kind of what he
I
speaks
don't remember
of.
which number it is. Sue me, but that's one of the commandments.
But picture any social encounter or any interpersonal relationship. If say it's someone that you're like, they don't like me or they probably won't like me, and then you go in with that attitude. But if you're like, you know what, I'm going to make the effort to like this person. I'm going to like kind of.
Not even like, but at least have an understanding that where they're coming from.
But not be like
hostile.
Yeah.
No hostile.
But
no
but it's like,
hostility.
you have that mutual respect where like
This guy's also
and look for the good in that person.
like,
to
for an example, for us, like a new guy at work, let's say
Yeah.
they get thrown into your crew, and it's like, okay, maybe take a look into his shoes. Like, okay, this guy just got thrown into a crew in your case, like of 20 guys,
yeah,
and maybe he only knows one guy, and
Yeah.
that does help, but it's still weird. You will have to interact with these guys to some degree at some point, you know, and he's probably not super comfortable, and if he's feeling any, like if he's displaying any like hostility or anything, that's probably just defense mechanism.
Yeah.
You know, you could probably just be that cool guy
and just talk to him.
just go up to him and be like, hey man, welcome to the crew.
Yeah,
You know, this is whatever crew, B crew, and we clang and bang. You know, don't
Yeah.
worry about it. Like, take your time. We'll help you out.
yeah.
If you just give him something like that, you don't have to, you know, bend over and eat his ass.
No,
but
no,
you
no,
just
no.
have to, you know, and this is for anybody, not just at work. Fuck anything. You know, like you can just be a human being.
Yeah,
For like 2 seconds.
and that mutual respect.
That's
And-
where it is. It's just understanding that he's also a person. You're just a person.
yeah.
That's all it is.
Uh,
It's very simple.
Definitely. Also, like because those two books, all they talk about is relationships, and not like relationships like guy girl,
No,
like
no.
dating.
Relationships
Yeah.
between people.
Yeah, like interpersonal.
Like you're
relationships, like you and your boss,
you and your mom.
your coworker, you and your mom,
Those are all relationships.
you and your brother.
And I think a lot of people forget that that's a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
And-
do have to take care of your relationships.
he actually like if out of both books, if there's out of the 600 pages between them, if there's 20 pages talking about like
Like romantic relationship.
I think that would be about it. Like there might be a chapter in
Because
each.
here's the thing, too. You can still apply, I'm guaranteeing you, the entire 2 books to a
Oh,
romantic relationship.
That's the thing. He just doesn't hit that on the nose.
No, he doesn't have to.
He doesn't. If it's very general, but also like like most of his generalities, and then because of the way
Yeah, he specifies inside of them, essentially, right?
Yeah, like the youth will ask for specification,
Sure.
and he'll go into that,
Right.
and then back to Jet.
And by youth, he means because it's a 2-sided conversation, essentially,
Yeah.
these 2 books, just to clarify.
Yeah.
But thing is his whatever wisdom he's giving out based on relationships, it doesn't have to be about romantic relationships, but it's all applicable.
Absolutely.
If you don't realize that your relationship is really just about with your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you want to call them, partner, is not just an understanding, is not just, you know, putting yourself in their shoes, is not just, it's all the same things as you and your boy, or you and your
Absolutely.
best girlfriend, you and your mom. You know, like when I was young, for whatever reason, I was able to do that quite easily. As a young, like I'm talking like 10, 11 years old, I was able to see, like we were poorer than fuck, just to give you an idea. And I could see why sometimes my parents were like, well, not today. You know, I wanted a chocolate bar or a
Yeah,
pop
yeah.
or something. And they're like, not today. I would get it.
Yeah.
I figured it out and I was like 10-4.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was like, I understand today is not that kind of day. That's okay. There'll be a day where they're like, do you want a slushie? And I know they might be pushing it a little bit, but they can do it that day. I'll take
Yeah,
it
yeah,
then,
yeah.
you know, like I'm
Yeah,
not
you
going to
don't-
be,
I was the same way.
and I'm not, like, I love you, Kat, like my sister, whatever. But, you know, there were times, I'm not saying all the time, but where I would remember she wouldn't clue in. And that's
Yeah.
not her fault. I'm just saying I'm maybe a special case where I clued in to that
No,
kind of thing.
I would
Empathy
agree. Yeah.
a little bit more. It's not everybody, and that's okay. You have to learn it, obviously. But there were times where I was like, Jesus, like
Also, those
you
second
can't do
kid,
this.
like it's a little bit different.
yeah, it's like yeah, where I'm a little older, I kind of get it a bit more.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I'm not blaming her, not whatsoever. But it hurt me at the time to see her like not quite understand it, because then I could see my parents' pain,
yeah,
and I could see their pain of being like, no,
Yeah.
for sure, no. I'm sorry, just it's not.
yeah.
And they'd
it's
be
not
like,
like no, it's
They're not like, no, you've been bad. It's just, no, I fucking can't if you want to eat tonight.
yeah. It's like
And,
loaf
like,
of bread or your chocolate.
Sorry about, you know, if my parents or my sister ever watch this. This is personal, but this is my podcast, and I can fucking talk how I want. Like, this
Yeah.
is my shit.
Fuck.
And I'm not talking badly about these experiences. These shaped me.
That's
Like that post I sent you.
Yeah,
Sure, I could trade spots with Warren Buffett and have all the money in the world, or I could trade spots with, fucking Jeff Bezos and have a little less money, but still all the money in the world,
or you
and
could-
have a hot chick and whatever. Or I could swap with Bill Gates and be the philanthropist billionaire. Or I could
or Tom Hardy, or
whoever the fuck you want to imagine. Sure, Bill, fucking Brad Pitt,
Yeah.
you know, Edward Norton for whatever reason, or you know, like whoever the fuck.
Yeah.
But then you'd be leaving all your own experiences behind, and don't fucking tell me none of them are good, because there are experiences that every single one of us have had that we hang on to, that we remember forever. Now tell me, would you rather drop those experiences forever? You don't even get to remember, and not even remember that you forgot them, for somebody else's life entirely?
Yeah, well, and it's also like, because you got to think what they gave up, what they sacrificed, what pain, like, because who knows, you might go into, I don't think Warren Buffett, because he seems like he's had a pretty,
Chill life.
like, he seems good,
That's what I mean, though. What if you switch with him, but then you don't get your experience?
but also though you don't know, like maybe you'll switch into his and then you get all of his memories and you're like,
whoa.
holy
That's
shit,
a
this guy
lot.
went through fucking
Yeah.
hell. And
Yeah.
I think like there obviously some cases are worse, like Matthew McConaughey, everyone's like, oh yeah, he's the cool guy, he's like gets the
Yeah,
biggest
look at
roles.
his earliest life. Yeah. Look at his early life.
I don't think I'd switch places with
Look
him.
at Robert Downey Jr.'s early life.
Another person.
Look at Harrison Ford's early life. Not that it was bad, but he worked like a carpenter, like a motherfucker.
Yeah, and
Till what? Till he was like 38, 40, and then became an actor?
yeah, and then you
Okay, maybe mid 30s, but
and
still.
that's what most people, and we've talked about on the podcast, is most people see the end result. These guys in their 50s, 60s, 70s. You see the
Man,
finished
it was so
product.
easy.
You see the finished product. It's like dive into like all the hardships. Like Scott Galloway, entrepreneur. He has a podcast, Prof G.
Oh, I've heard of it. Yep.
Yeah. I actually watched one before I came here.
Nice.
He basically just analyzes market. He's big into business and education and helping young men. That's why I like him.
Right.
And on one of his podcasts, he was talking about basically for the first 45 years of his life, all he did was work to make money because he grew up poor. He wanted to help his mom, and he's like, I need to signal resources to get females. And why he says till 45 is because then he had kids.
Yeah.
And he said he didn't want kids, and he's like, fuck, changed my life completely, which is pretty cool.
That's literally all I've ever heard.
But
For better or worse, though, depending on the kind of person you are, right?
100%. And he said
Whereas I think because we're decent people, it would change our lives for the better.
even he said though he grew to love his kids. He grew to enjoy that life.
For others, though, like they resent it so much they
Yep.
become deadbeat dads or deadbeat
Yeah.
wives or
And,
whatever.
and also
right?
though, like you see him, he's worth like $100 and some million. He's not a deadbeat.
It's
So-
also not hard. No offense, but it's really
Yeah,
like
there's-
he's got no real reason to be a deadbeat.
Yeah. And also but also like if you're worth $100 million, I think by nature you wouldn't be a deadbeat unless you're like someone like Elon Musk and you just knock up people randomly and then lose all your kids.
Here's the catch, though, dude. We only know about what we hear.
I don't know that we can go into Elon Musk after. But,
I don't even mean Elon. Anybody.
Oh,
You don't think Jeff has 3 or 4 children that are unclaimed?
probably.
You don't think like maybe Mark Zuckerberg has one chilling out there?
Oh, guaranteed.
And I'm not calling these guys out based on any merit or any actual evidence, but just think about it. Think about it. They're not being watched 24/7. They've got a fuckload of money, like more than we can imagine at this point, really. And they can do basically whatever the fuck they want.
I don't think I'd want to have kids where I'm not at yeah, I don't even talk to you. Not even.
That's what I mean. Like, are you shitting me? Like,
I don't
holy
think I
fuck.
would do that.
No. And I'm not saying this is a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying imagine that, right? Like, because this is, they may not seem deadbeatish, right? Elon seems like a piece of shit, and like obviously fatherly wise, he kind of is, like definitely. There's no kind
little
of
too
sorry.
much
I'm not
ketamine.
trying to soften it. I'm just saying things, but he's definitely a little bit off the edge there, and not the greatest dad. But then you get like a guy, Mark, right? He has children. Zuckerberg, he has kids.
Does he?
Yep, he has
Okay.
kids. I watched the pod. It was interesting as fuck
Oh,
with
okay.
with Joe Rogan. Fascinating, by the way. if you're-
I might have to watch that one.
No, it's really fucking good.
Yeah?
Like you're
Okay.
within 20 minutes, you're like, this, I'm hooked.
Okay,
He talks about the FBI and how he basically went fuck you to the FBI.
I will
It was cool as shit.
I will say he's grown on me more in like the last few years.
And Joe has also called him out on this latest one too.
Because he's kind of more come into being a normal.
A human being?
Yeah.
Yeah, not so robotic.
Because like now he does like the jujitsu and he's more involved in
Joe
things.
talks about that a lot on that
Yeah.
episode. He's like, man, he's like, the whole jiu-jitsu community is so thrilled that you're in this. He's like, you know, you're like grounded. Like guys are like, you're really cool and like blah blah blah. He was just praising him. He was like, listen, like keep going. Like
I think he was. The thing is,
he
though,
basically chose jiu-jitsu because he didn't want to like break his body.
Yeah.
But he also wanted a physical altercation. That's kind of how he worded it.
and I think because he was isolated so much for so long and such meteoric rise, like another thing I don't know if I'd want. Like imagine if in the next 10 years you went from your current net worth to $100 billion.
It's honestly
sounds
just
great.
no. It actually doesn't.
No, but for
With
people
with an
watching, they'd be like, oh, my
Oh,
God,
it's so
100
easy. No. Think about the responsibility.
Think the pressure. Now you have 100,000 employees.
I was about to say, think about the lives on the line. These people are now relying on your fucking industry essentially to keep pumping out bills to keep paying them.
Well, but the thing is now, you fuck up, you get sanctioned by the SEC, and you get closed down.
Yeah, or not even closed down, but you have to cut 20K jobs.
Yeah,
You don't think those 20,000 people are going to talk about it and be fucking angry?
and if you can get past the criticism, it's gonna weigh on you no matter what.
Bingo.
Unless you're like, I don't know,
Bingo.
Elon Musk.
I've talked about my dad hating firing people.
Yeah, and that's over his career.
And my dad's not like a big lovey-dovey guy. You know, like I'm not saying he has no heart. That's not what I mean. He's just not like, doesn't like go outwardly too hard on his emotions.
It still weighs.
He'd still come home and be like, fuck, like I could tell it. He didn't have a great day. Like he probably fired half a dozen guys.
And now
He's like, fuck.
now put that 100x, even if you're not the one directly.
Bingo.
But it was your mistake or your.
Exactly. In this way, it's indirect, but it is direct, right? Like it's indirect who's doing the firing,
Yeah.
but it's direct the cause of the firing.
It's like I'm the fucking captain of the ship. Like it's
I
like,
made this market call,
It-
and we lost this much, and now I'm forced.
It'd
my
be like
hand.
being a general in World War II and you send your guys over and it's like they're all gonna die.
Right. And in this case, let's say you make this bad call and it's like, okay, I can keep all these people, and then the whole ship goes down. And then I
that's
piss off 120,000 people.
and then that's the what's that fucking
The train.
yeah the train
two
where there's
train
one
tracks.
person and five and it's headed towards the five and you could do nothing and you're not responsible at all, or you could flip it in one and now you'd be. It's
You're
like,
responsible for that guy. Yeah, exactly.
but it's like, but if you do nothing, in my eyes, I'd be responsible for the five. But like I could see how also people could just be like, it would. I'm no.
it's like responsibility by proxy, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, this is why it's such a conundrum, because it's responsibility by proxy, but you're still choosing to kill this man.
Yeah, no. You're
Like-
you're more involved in that guy dying.
Oh my god.
That's where it gets.
It's so heavy.
okay. It'd be like
Sure, the 5 guys are dead, but like you didn't do it. You didn't help, but you didn't do it either.
which is almost worse.
That's kind of the deal
that's
here.
like the bystander. Like
Yeah, man. That's tough. It's like you can save, 2 or 3 of these people and then 10 die, or you can just let the bus crash and everyone dies, and then you're like,
no one can blame you.
I didn't do anything, but like I didn't have the ability to save them all.
I don't think I'd want to be in.
See how heavy that is? Like
No.
that's so intense.
Yeah.
I can't believe I just came up with that scenario out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Clear painted picture, didn't it though? What did you imagine? I pictured this bus like over an edge of a bridge.
Oh, I
or
wasn't picturing the
something.
bus. I was still picturing the train.
Oh, that too. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I was just imagining this bus now over the edge, and like the back door's open, but they're like clamoring and it's sliding down.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, I could,
or I could
or
do
I could
nothing.
just be like, I'm calling the emergency, and they're like, oh, we're gonna die, and you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you reach in and like you grab 1 or 2 and you start yanking them out, you yank 2, 3 of them, and then
Yeah.
there's still 10, 12 more on the bus. Were you responsible? No, but
I see. I don't think that would bother me as much as the train one.
I think it would though.
No,
Th-
because I
for a different reason.
Maybe because you just watch 10 people.
Well, no, you didn't get to save them all. You only saved some. Trust me, that would eat at you. I think that would eat at you. And I don't mean you, but just as a person.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you tried. You did what you thought you could do your best.
I don't know. I think I'd be happy that I was able to save the few.
Okay, that's fair.
I think so.
I'll let you have
in
it.
that
I'm
scenario.
not saying, but it's just another scenario, right?
Yeah, definitely. Where
episode 50, guys. Thanks
We
for
already
joining
said
us. I know.
You're
This is we didn't really do an intro. Though.
Oh,
Speaking of intros, though, I really think eventually we should get not eventually, within the next few weeks, we should do something on Fiverr.
Yeah.
Just I'd like a small little intro thing, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And then maybe a small little outro thing, fucking 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah. No, and it'd
Just to
probably be
cap
like
'em.
$10.
Yep.
Yeah, we should.
We're just lazy. That's all.
Yeah. No.
Let's be honest.
And it's literally just to send a message.
Yeah. Be like, we're looking for this. Here's my debit card.
Yeah. Well, you could also probably just go to people that are on it and just see
What
people
they've
that do
already done.
podcast intros and then look through their catalog.
Oh, I'm
and be
sure. We should actually. We'll pull that up before we gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to finish off with because we were talking about switching places with people and Scott Galloway and that.
Oh Jesus.
And because he had a pretty rough first part of his life, made millions, lost millions all over the place. And he's super grateful and whatnot. And he wouldn't switch places with a single person.
No.
He made his millions, went broke, whatnot.
And
And
learned so much along the way. I bet.
and he loves to joke about it. He's making that 100 million. He's like, it cost me my first marriage, a girl I really liked, all my hair, years off my life, wouldn't change a thing.
Yep.
He's
Truth.
okay with the sacrifices he made.
He did. But it's his life, right? And in the end, I'm sure if you asked him, would there be some things you would have liked to say differently or do differently? I'm sure he has an answer of yes to some degree, everyone else, right? Would you have rather said this instead of what you said? Yeah, probably.
But he's
but you just have to accept.
And I think guys like that, they get more and more okay with being it's the choice I made. I can't even think of the other.
No, you can't. You have to just keep moving on.
Because
and that's not just guys like him. You just have to do that. Everyone
And that's
has
where
to
people
do
get
that.
stuck. It's what if I did this different? What if, it's you can't
Guess
change
what?
it. What is it? Change what you can and accept what you can.
Yeah, it's fucking just
That's
stoicism all over
That's
again.
philosophy.
Yeah,
Fucking
it's
101.
just what's in your control. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, all that other shit isn't. So I mean, why are we still thinking
Is
about
that
it?
Socrates? Maybe.
Socrates or Epictetus?
Yeah.
I can never say Epictetus.
What?
I can never say his name right, dude.
But yeah, I think.
Why is his is one of the hardest ones? Too many P's.
But yeah, it was one of those philosophers
P's and
that famously said that it's
Yeah.
control what you can and accept what you can't.
Yep.
And you know what I mean. Say you make that decision, you fuck up, 20,000 people get laid off. You have to accept that you can't go back.
Exactly.
You can do everything to try to minimize damages
Yep.
and whatnot, but you can't eat yourself up
No.
because then that's when you get depressed and you're living.
Oh man, you've seen there's companies that go under because of how much the pressure eats them.
Yeah.
Just alone, you know what I mean?
And I'm really hoping as I fucking progress through life that I get better with just trucking on.
It's tough, man. Oh fuck. Even at my age right now, I'm still just struggling.
But
just struggling.
See, because today you're feeling rough, I'm feeling rough. Okay, I was laying in bed and I was thinking, I'm like, I feel terrible and whatnot, but I'm like, if I just look out for 3 seconds on the surface, it's not that bad, really.
I guess.
We both have decent jobs.
Sure.
We're both in decent health, probably good health.
If
really.
we look at this moment, yes, but then I start thinking about the future. And I'm
And then your anxiety, you. That's why you. Oh, yeah, I get it. I get that. Well, because what?
stuck in a loop, man. It's just-
Depression is looking at the past, and anxiety is looking at the future,
Yeah.
being focused.
Yeah. And I just don't think I have that much depression. It's really not that
No, it's all anxiety.
crippling.
I know you really.
And I've never really had it before. That's the worst part. Not like this. Everyone has anxiety to some degree. That's not what I'm saying. Everyone has it. This is a human thing
Yeah.
that we experience. But I've never had it to the point where it was medical.
Yeah,
I've been depressed before. I've been whatever, but like not this. This is crazy.
Oh yeah, no. I've definitely been like pretty depressy, like not like where it's like I can't function, but to where it's like
Yeah.
yeah, you know.
That was. Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Well, I usually just dissociate, and then it's
Yeah.
a whole nother issue. But
Yeah.
but I do notice you get in very anxious loops.
Yeah. Lately, especially, man.
Like
I
you
don't know.
you'll start worrying, like hyperfixate on like a certain worry that probably won't happen,
Yeah. Possibly.
or it possibly could.
Yeah.
But then that's where you
just
need
have to deal with it
that's
when it happens.
that's where you need to go flip through a couple pages of something and
Yeah,
fuck it and
yeah,
be like,
yeah.
control what you can control, and then just accept the outcome.
I know the answers.
I
dude.
know, you
We
just
just talked about this. Good at giving the advice, not so good at taking it. Not these days.
I know I'm trying to give advice, so maybe my brain will like take some of it. I'm
Sucks.
hoping.
It sucks.
Because I looked out for 3 seconds. It's like for my age and whatnot, I'm doing fine in most aspects. I don't know where I'd be like severely under.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatnot. Maybe my amount of how many people I like see.
Whatever.
Because
Cares?
but a normal 21-year-old probably sees fucking way more people because you're in like university or college.
I guess.
But I
was,
fucking hate.
I
people.
was seeing people, but I still didn't hang out with that many people when I was in college.
I
It was
get
the same
yeah.
thing.
I just hang out with very select. I kinda
You know,
like it.
maybe at the most in college, I had like a group of 20 at tops, but that also comes with the territory of being in college.
Yeah.
But I
Group of
wasn't like
20,
buddies with fucking everybody. And out of that 20, I'd say like 8 of them were actually my real good friends.
Yeah.
And then the others were just kind of associated and probably their good friends. So we all just kind of hung out, or like mostly it was just like the gym, or we'd sit at Odeno, which is the little restaurant in there.
Okay, yeah.
We'd go sit in there or hang out in the hall before classes, and we all had similar classes. So it was more like by proxy. It
Yeah.
wasn't necessarily just because I was like, these are my best friends.
Well, it's like the
And I'm not shit talking them. I appreciate it. It was fun. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's just the reality of it is, look, I don't really talk to any of those people anymore.
well, it's like the people at the gym.
Yep.
It's
Well,
like-
think about elementary school, high school. How many of those people do you really associate with now?
One.
There you go. So there you go.
Like
I-
from elementary school, one, and from high school, one.
I'm not trying to compete. I have none.
Oh, really?
I actually don't
Well,
have any of them.
Johnny's the one.
Okay.
And he was MIA for like 6 years.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
came
yeah,
back.
yeah.
And then Cole I see biannually.
Sure. Yeah, right.
So-
but I understand. And like I don't really associate with anyone from them, and it's not like any reason, but half the group that I had in high school, so I had like 5 or 6 people that were consistent, like actually good friends, and they all went off on their own. They all
Yeah.
went away to school to begin with, and I didn't do that. And you know, I just made new friends in college, and then after that, I left college, and I just didn't carry them on with me because at that time I was not doing well mentally either.
Nice.
And then, you know, just friends from work, and then eventually whatever. And now my friends currently consist of like you and 2 people from an old job, essentially. And then obviously my girlfriend, but that's different.
Yeah.
Story.
Yeah, I would say definitely. Well, everyone I really knew, elementary school.
Like,
high
I guess my
school.
girlfriend from high school, actually. Now that I think about it.
What?
I knew her then.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the only one. Whoa,
There
that's
you go.
wild. That's weird.
There you go.
That is crazy. But yeah, there you go. I had to think about it pretty hard, though.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I definitely everyone that I went to high school with for sure is either out of town or like I don't even know where.
90% of them that did go out of town for me are back here.
Oh, a lot of them like left for a year, came back, but like like I don't-
Just wait till you hit 25, dude. I bet you 80% of those people that went away for school are going to be back here.
my generation though,
Nuts.
like nobody goes out or sees anyone.
Nope.
They have like it's so hard to like even just meet new people.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I really feel like I was part of the last bit of that happening.
Yeah. No.
Like, when I was still in college, end of high school kind of thing, people went out all the fucking time. I didn't stop getting invites.
Like
There'd be something at the college, something 2 streets away from the college, something in the pea patch.
Yeah.
Sometimes there'd be something just fucking down the street,
but
and I'd go just
I
for
find-
shits.
I find even
Got
in-
busted at a house party once on Halloween. Cops like fucking flooded the place.
I found even in
I had to jump backyards. Never did that before. I was like, this is we're in a TV show right now. I was like, this is nuts.
is what I didn't like in high school was it would be like there'd be like a group of guys all hanging out at a house drinking, and then like at a different house it was like the girls. No one mingled. It was weird.
Oh, that's.
Dude, you want to know something? Tell me this isn't weird.
I would have never went.
I didn't. That's why I'm like.
You know what? I'll be honest with you.
And I
Actually,
had a girlfriend, so I didn't give a fuck.
I'll be honest with you. This is straight up the truth. At the time, I would have been the one who had been like, "Yo, bro, let's come with me," and then we would have went to that house.
Yeah.
Dead ass. And I would have tried, and if I got kicked out, I would have went home after that.
Yeah, and been like, well.
I tried, and I wouldn't have went there with the intention of being like, "Well, it's fun."
No.
It's way more fun to party with the other sex.
Yeah.
Like, are you shitting me right now? It has nothing to do with me trying to get laid, even.
Dude, at lunchtime,
Just boring.
at lunchtime in high school,
Too many dicks.
guys and girls sat at different tables. There was like girl table,
There's
guy table, guy table.
There's 2 regular girls in our group, in my group at high school. Like, one of them was considered one of the best friends in the group.
Yeah, no, dude, I don't know what the fuck happened. Guys and girls are just separate.
And so,
What?
the internet.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'm like confident.
yeah,
I'm really confident that that's what's happening.
It's
Because
fucking-
did you know the stats, right? I think it's like men under 26 or something like that have the lowest recorded amount of intercourse since
Oh, yeah.
for the last 10 years or something like that.
you know how many guys? Like, I want to know. I really would like to know the statistic of guys, say like 18 to 25. Like what like how many of them have actually like had like a significant girlfriend? It's probably like the lowest ever.
In my high school, I had 1 or 2 kind of like, I'd say one more consistent, like, no offense to if you remember, but like it wasn't serious, man. Like it was, we didn't take it seriously. No one took it seriously.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have one, it kind of felt weird because like everyone else had a fucking girlfriend. Everyone else had a boyfriend.
And then
Like literally everybody.
mine.
That was so consistently normal. I had chicks that I preferred to talk to in high school, right off the hop, in grade 9, 10, 11, that I still remember to this day because they were cool and I liked to talk to them. 3 of them at least. And I would consider them good friends. Like not right now, but
Yeah.
like at the time. And later on realized that like at least 2 of them were actually trying to like be more than that. And I didn't fucking know what was going
Yeah.
on. But still,
I'm trying to think back to high school.
it was normal then.
Most people weren't dating.
Weren't?
Not that I can.
Jesus.
And anyone that like was, it was like, it would be like a month or 2 months or like.
With us, it was like either these 2 people have been together for the last 3 years,
Mhm.
and it's like grade 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like, it's like half the year.
Yeah.
Or it would last a grade, or something like that. It was long. Like they weren't like just flingies.
I want to know what
Weird.
what the average age fucking like people like lose their virginity now and shit. It's got to be high.
I'm wondering, right?
Like I bet it's like college, late
it's
college.
like prostitution,
I don't
hiring.
because
Like, what is it? What's the
because
deal?
I remember like I found after I got out of high school, I realized how many people like
Still weren't.
yeah, and I was like,
I actually thought like I was super late.
and what were you 12?
17.
Oh, that's not
Right?
bad. That's actually crazy now knowing you,
Great.
because
So cool.
if you, that's why I said 12.
I know.
'Cause I know you.
I know. Okay, that's
You were a late bloomer, but you
Son
fucking
of
came
a
out of the
bitch,
gates
dude.
like fucking
This
Usain
is
Bolt.
unreal kind of talk, crazy talk for the podcast right now.
Because
Holy
it's
shit.
I like how you'll fucking have me on the chopping block constantly. Now you are, and you're like,
Oh, this is
see
crazy.
why I fucking squirm
Yeah, but
over here,
It's the fucking subject. It's nuts.
dude. I want to go through the pods and see some of the subjects you get me to go through.
Either way.
Yeah, moving on.
17, yeah. And it was
I only beat you by a
actually,
year.
I think, what's her name? Was only the second one.
Oh,
Yep. And then
oh wow! You really like you tried to like commit early.
Yeah.
You went. I respect that.
And then after that, it went real.
It went sideways. So how old were you when that ended completely?
Completely?
Yeah.
Second time?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Well, but in between, wasn't there only like one or two?
Like what?
Like
Girlfriends?
people that you were with, like, or did you go?
I'm
Oh,
not
you went
doing this
crazy.
on the
Oh,
fucking
you did.
podcast.
Okay.
Holy
I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember if it was after or during.
Oh, my God.
Look at the fucking how loud you are.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, so it was in between you went. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wait, you were apart for a while though.
2 years.
Oh, okay. Never
And then
mind.
after that, I was like, oh, like, I wasn't fulfilled, which is obvious.
So the first time, how old were you?
Sam, hold on. I'm trying to piece this together. I think it started when I was like 20 or 21.
Oh, so like around my age.
Yep. And then it was 2 years. And then 2 years. And then 2 years.
I always feel like I'm so
I was like
late.
26.
Like I always.
When it was all over.
Yeah, I always feel like I'm so. That's crazy. Yeah. So it would have been like not long before we met. Year, 2.
Tops.
Fuck.
Tops.
That's fucking crazy.
When we met, I was still like,
Yeah. No. I remember.
no, yeah. 100%.
See, I always feel like
And until Ashley, still, right?
Yeah.
Remember? Like
I
4
always-
years of like, I don't give a single fuck.
you know how you felt
That's
like
why
you,
the whole Claire and like
Yeah,
what's her
yeah.
name thing happened, and I was like, yeah, I'll burn this bridge, buddy.
yeah.
And you were like, and I was like, no, give me that. I was like, I will do this, and I burnt it.
Yo, yeah.
It was charred. There was
No. The
nothing
funny
left.
part is, bridge was intact, fine.
Yeah, I know. It was
It-
just the sheath on it.
There was just a different. No, it's like a new bridge
yeah,
appeared. I was like,
yeah. Hired the Chinese. Oh, whatever.
Yo,
hired
relax.
the Chinese and
relax.
Well, I honestly not even racistically. Whoa, that's a new word. Made it
They
up.
built railroads. Or was that the Japanese?
No, that's not what I'm even talking about.
Oh.
Like, look up videos of like collapses in China or a sinkhole.
Oh, they're crazy.
It's like 18 hours and they're driving over it.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? And it looks just like it was.
Germany's really good too.
Yeah, it's the speed, and they just get well. Okay, here's the other catch.
And they do it right the first
Well,
time.
here's the catch with China. It's partially the dictatorship. Like,
Well,
right?
yeah.
It's where he goes. Yes, there's 2 to 8 people tops that have all the power, and they go yes or no.
Yeah.
So if they go yes, shit happens. There's no red tape.
Well,
It's just a go.
It's like Dubai.
Yeah.
They want to build a new tallest building.
It's happening. Like
2
it's gonna-
years
yeah,
and the
tops.
Burj Khalifa's there.
Exactly.
I don't know how long it actually took.
I don't know, but it wasn't long for
No,
what it is.
I don't think
right?
so.
No, exactly. So same idea. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
But yeah, no. Well, how you said you felt like you were late. I feel like I'm always late to things, and then I talk to people, and I'm like, oh no, I'm just like perpetually feel like I'm behind.
Kind of in the middle.
So
For certain things,
what?
like
You?
like virginity and stuff like that. Like
Oh, I
simple
mean,
stuff.
I was broadening it out. I was trying to get away from the.
I don't even care.
Yeah.
I'm not saying specifically virginity, but I just mean normal, like growing up things.
Yeah.
In general, normal
Yeah.
growing up things. I don't necessarily mean like, even financial or whatever. But
Yeah.
anything else, it's like I felt like I was. Oh, I'm so late. I was not ahead, but I wasn't behind either. It was mostly just kind of fucking normal.
Yeah,
You know what mean?
I always feel like I'm super late, and then I'm like, but then I like try to speed run things, which is a problem.
And then you're like, oh shit, hold on, brakes. Oh, it's too late.
And then I'm like, oh, I just like fucking, oh damn, that
Yeah.
was. I'm like, oh, you're not supposed to do that till you're like,
Ran through some learning here.
yeah,
I got to disc 37 instead of fucking stopping at 22.
yeah, no, legit. I've definitely speed run the cassettes there, especially like I'd say like once I got out of high school. And I think though part of it's getting out of high school, immediately going to work,
Yeah.
and working with 40, 50-year-olds.
It helps.
I mean,
And I just mean it helps progress that.
yeah, but now I feel like I'm a 35-year-old man. Yeah, I know mine's empty too. It's really depressing.
Wow. That's it. All right, folks. Thanks for.
The go-go juice is
I'm
out.
pretty close to just
This is why we need a producer to just like coffee on deck.
and be like, not even just coffee on deck, to be like, okay, we're not even done the points yet, guys. And be like, fuck.
But
Really?
But yeah, no, it definitely.
If anyone's
helps.
listening though, definitely send us some ideas for those fucking. Nobody ever comments, but I would love that.
Oh, it would make me happy.
I would like it to be not a bot.
Yeah. Yeah. Or someone trying to be like, we'll pay to promote you. No.
That's all bot bullshit.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry, that was gross.
But you want to know the one thing I have found as a negative side effect of like growing up super fast is then like meeting people and building like connections is extremely
It's hard.
difficult.
I know, and like I feel like we both grew up fast in the two different ways.
Okay.
Like you grew up fast, like in the like work sector kind of thing.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
I always worked. Don't get me wrong. Like
Yeah.
I've never not had a job really, but I grew up fast, like in the emotional side. There was a lot of shit that I got to deal with really fast, really early, and just kept going. You know what I mean? And like
I think I'm doing pretty good.
I think so too. But I also
to help with you. Like,
yeah, no, but I also think that like you don't take on too much in the emotional side of things.
No, I got too much. everywhere else.
Whereas I would take on so much and like burden myself with shit and just be like, oh my god, I'm fucking learning too much too quick. In
Yeah.
that side of things, you know, like with relationships and not just. I don't mean again like just with women or whatever.
You mean
like,
interpersonal
yeah,
relationships.
interpersonal relationships, like non-romantic. Like I learned a lot, you know, best friends being not who they are, and you know, being drug addicts or your girlfriend's doing shit behind your back, and like
Thankfully, I've never had that.
I've had a ton of that.
That would.
I've had like drug addict friends that you discover later, or like fucking.
Oh, I've had that. Yeah,
you know,
I've had a guy like not
Or
that I was
they-
friends with, but acquainted.
or they do it occasionally, and then they start falling off the fucking rocker, and you're like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do, man? Like, I'm not helping you with this
Yeah.
because I don't have the capabilities to help myself at this moment." in life, you
yeah,
know?
no,
It's like,
100%.
You know, and so you're trying to leave the place that you live with them, and they're like, "Oh, why are you leaving, man?" It's like, are you fucking stupid? Like, are you like you're that fucking into it right now that you don't even see the problem you're causing?
No, I would say I definitely do shield myself more from like that kind of drama.
Yeah, and here's the thing: at the time, there wasn't any with this person or these
Yeah.
other people, right? And it's like they built that drama,
Yeah.
and then I'm just happened to be part of it because they were my friend or whatever, and I'm like, why the fuck am I here now?
Do you ever sometimes find yourself in situations and you're like, holy fuck, like that campfire night, for example,
Yeah, right.
where you end up in, and I'm not giving context for the viewers. It's just so you know what I'm,
Yeah.
kind of what I mean. Is when you end up in these crazy situations or crazy places, and you're like, this is so far out of who I am or who I identify myself
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
that you're like, how the fuck did I end up here? And how is this people's normal life?
Yeah.
Because you're like, this is fucked.
Well, that's exactly right. Like I've been okay.
I've ended up so many places I shouldn't be.
I've been in way too many. Way too
I'm
many.
getting better at avoiding, but it still happens.
I've had it happen when I was like from 18 to like 20, no, fucking like 16 to like 22, 23. I'd find myself in these places where I'm like, this is not who I am.
Yeah.
This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. This is not where I'm supposed to be. And I'm like watching these sketch bags walk into this apartment, or we're walking to this park real sketchy or whatever. And like I'm giving away a lot, but it's,
Yeah.
dude, like I'm always like, why the fuck? Like my choices are reflecting here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, why am I doing this?
And I always find it's like, because you have that one friend that like you get along with something, but then their side is
you're
like sketch.
whoa, I didn't know you were that person. Like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, man. Or like this happened.
I find I'm always a degree away.
Oh yeah, but then eventually sometimes it slips.
oh,
and
yeah.
then you're like, whoa. Like
Then
for
you end up at
example,
those weird apartment all the time, and you're like,
at Tim Hortons. These guys that like I worked there. That was my first job, right? From fucking grade 9 to 11. I worked there, and you don't like these people are randoms.
Yeah.
Everybody can work at Tim's, and you meet these guys. He has a couple tattoos. He seems cool, but then you go over to his place, and he's a fucking rat.
Yeah.
sketch bag motherfucker, and
you end up in
know
an
what I mean?
apartment,
Like-
and someone's randomly punching holes. There's
yeah, there's
fucking
holes everywhere.
alcohol,
There's dirt
drugs.
shit everywhere.
You're
and
like,
crap, and
there's two guys fighting in the front yard. You're like,
people are coming in and out every 40 minutes, and you're like, what the fuck are we doing here,
Yeah.
dude? Like, holy shit.
It's like, oh yeah, that's someone.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're playing a game. Fucking focus on the
think
game.
Billy knows him from somewhere, and you're like, from
He
somewhere.
just came in
dude.
and grabbed a beer. What
Yeah,
the
it's
fuck
like-
is going
and he
on?
left after. You walked out. You just know? Okay.
Yeah.
Been there.
And I find
Not good.
it's like just,
Self-corrected though.
I've ended up in those places, and usually I'm like I must stick out like a sore fucking thumb.
That's what I always thought too.
'Cause
Because I did kind of, but it was just like
but then they're all like, "Hey, that guy seems fucking
like because I'm chill and
Yeah.
I'm not a rat in the sense I'm not telling anyone anything.
No.
And I'm also just doing my own thing. So people always were like, "Oh, he's cool." And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, because I'm not causing problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm also just gonna keep my mouth shut and get the fuck out of here when I can. Like, you know what I mean? It's just I'm not the problem causer. You know, like people. If I've ever been in like a situation, it's always because somebody has caused it and brought it to me, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. I'm not looking for conflict. I'm
Yeah.
really not.
I I was in high school. No, maybe I don't know if I don't see. COVID really fucked the line for
Yeah.
me of where high school ended
Yeah.
and everything else started. But I think it was like maybe during COVID or just after. I ended up at some random fucking house party, and there was fucking holes in the wall, fucking drugs, alcohol everywhere. I'm like, what the? I'm not even old enough to drink, and I'm at some
Yeah,
college
yeah.
party.
Yeah.
Don't know how I.
You're like, oh, fuck.
I don't even know how I got convinced to go. And then it was a fun night, but I was like, this is fuck.
Yeah, it's like this can't. This
There's
is-
people staggering down to the basement to like go fuck. There's
Yeah.
like I'm just like, what
The
the
bathroom's a designated Coke section. And
Yeah.
You know, the mixed drinks have fucking, Molly in them and whatever. And it's like, okay.
I'm just like, and I'm sitting there like, and because
You're almost sticking it out just to see the experience.
yeah, I
'Cause you're
remember.
like, I'm here now.
I think I like I had something to do the next day because I remember I didn't end up staying the whole time and I didn't drink,
Right.
which was probably the best thing ever. And
Yeah.
all of them thought it was like fucking super chill that they're like, oh, he's not drinking. Nah, that's fine. We'll get him a bottle of water. So
Yeah.
For like the drinking
Because
games.
they tend to not to care.
Didn't
you know?
give a
as long as
fuck.
if you don't make it weird, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just not drinking. They're like, yeah, we're playing flip cup. Like,
If you're in a place where it's like real peer pressure, it's like, okay, then these are either alcoholics
yeah,
or, they're disordered.
Yeah.
To some degree, right?
But-
But I've never been in a place where I was like, I'm okay on that joint, dude. Or I'm good on the beer. They're like, fucking weirdo. I've never been in a
No.
location like that. Never. TV really exaggerates that shit quite a bit.
and I would say at most it might be like, oh, really? Come on, everyone's drinking, and
That's-
then you're like, no, dude, really not. And then they're like, fair enough.
Nine times out of 10, you don't even have to give an excuse. You just double down, and they're like, all right, that's fine.
That's what I mean. Usually, like at most, it's like you have to say it twice.
Yeah. I've rarely ever had to explain why.
Yeah.
Unless it's like my absolute best friend and he's just feeling degenerate. I'm like, dude, I fucking have a shift in the morning.
Yeah.
Or I'm literally going to do this with my parents tomorrow or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be fucked.
Like there's been a few times
You
like,
know?
yo, dude, you want to have some drinks? It's like, I'm not feeling it. You're like, come on. Or like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
come on.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
it's like, nah, dude. And you're like, ah, fine. Okay.
All right. Like, obviously not. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
he's serious.
Yeah.
And I would say usually it's the people closer. You get the you have to double down.
Yeah. Not even just closer, but like more explain yourself. Because
Yeah.
like I've had it where even randoms are like, come on, because they don't know you, so they feel like they can just say whatever. And then if you go, no, I'm good, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can shut them down, like not rudely, but just sternly, and just be like, I'm good, man.
Yeah. And then I remember from that party, I had my fucking girlfriend at the time pick me up. It was hilarious.
Yeah. So there you go.
I was like,
Can you come get me? And she's like, okay.
oh, the whole reason I brought it up, I ended up fucking wrestling some guy in the front yard. He would not leave me alone the entire night. It actually like
He was like, wrestle me.
because I fucked up and I think I was
You slept and said something.
No, I was over at a buddy's house and then he wanted to like go. He like brought it up and I'm like, yeah, sure. I had my officer fucking sweater on for wrestling.
Oh, so it is your fault.
Yeah, no.
You brought it up and not intent. You just brought it up.
No, they were like, you wrestle? And I'm like,
Fuck.
they're
They're
like, are you any good? I'm like,
this technically means I'm decent.
and then this one guy just would not leave it. And it,
Offices are like Ontario regionals, basically, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
it's the biggest tournament for
Yeah.
high school.
I just
in
wanted to make
Ontario.
sure that's like because it's Ontario.
It would be like state championship for
Yeah.
using America.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Ontario is obviously the biggest.
it is most populated, anyways.
So
at
it's the
very
highest
least.
competition.
Pretty big intensity to win it, anyways.
Yeah, definitely.
And then NASA's national, right?
No, NASA would be regional, like Algoma.
Oh, okay.
And then but then there's
What's N stand for then in that situation? Do you know?
great question.
Okay, anyways.
but yeah, it goes NASA,
NASA,
OFSA.
OFSA, and then
Then there is
I forget what the national one's
There
called.
there is one for national, and then there's Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just
And
everywhere.
I've wrestled a few people that went to Worlds and placed. And I've met some that won Worlds, and those guys are built fucking
Machines.
different.
They are built different.
I'm like, you see them, and you're like,
Oh, he's gonna fold me like a paper mache.
I'm like, this kid's 14.
Yeah.
He's built like you.
Yeah, he's like 6'3", 240 pounds, and you're like, oh god.
And been doing it since he was
Four
before he
years
could
old.
walk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember I wrestled him, and it was fucking like, it was like around this time of year. It was like fucking muddy and shitty. And I'm like,
God.
and this guy wouldn't leave me alone. Wrestled. I fucking pinned him. And then I got up and he wouldn't stop. So I ended up like fucking like choking this guy out. And then I fucking went home.
You're like, hey, can I go home now?
Because I had, it's a college kid. I'm
Yeah.
in like grade 10 or 11.
Dummied him.
And then there's like a bunch of people watching. And I'm like, and then I fucking called my girlfriend and I'm like, come pick me up. I'm done.
I might be in danger.
No, they all fucking loved it. I don't think they liked this kid.
Yeah. That's fair.
They're like, no, this kid just got beat up. It's funny.
Fucking.
But I'm like, I'm not doing that again.
I was gonna say. Anyway, I think we're wrapping it up here, boy.
I think it was a good pod.
It was decent. We got something out of it. Just disaster
I
today.
fucking picked up a little bit.
yeah. I mean, I did too. Probably
Yeah.
around the 20, 30-minute mark. or
And
so.
then 40-minute mark, you fucking
I'm crashing. I'm
39
done.
minutes, you found out your coffee was empty, and
Yeah, and I
it
was
really
like,
put
no.
you really put you in a depression there.
Yeah. That's over. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us on this really monotone-ish episode.
It was a great episode, one of our best. I wouldn't change a thing.
I
no
love how
regrets.
it's episode 52. Like it's a pretty nice one.
Yeah, no,
You know?
halfway to 100. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we
It technically means it's been almost a year. So I think, like, since we bombed this, essentially, in my opinion, for episode 50, if this was anything
you had
else,
too high of
fuck
expectations.
you. Episode 52 has to be cool.
Okay, fair enough. Half a year.
Episode 52 has to be cool.
We'll try to get a guest.
yeah.
We should after the
Either
pod.
a
We'll
guest
think
or
about it.
I want to have, like, some banging thing to talk about. Like, and get
Okay.
real excited. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll come up
Maybe
with
for
something.
52,
We should really plan it.
we should have our theme. Our bookended themes.
Oh,
Fiverr.
like
Yeah.
like intro outro.
Yeah.
Oh, like you're saying like actually try to make this a thing.
Yeah.
Like be a professional.
Like actually happen by the episode.
Well, see,
52.
like you know how hard it is
That's
just to like be good at everything, to
Oh.
like really fucking top tier everything.
What I was
Oh.
actually going to bring up though is I think we're going to start posting episodes as they come out.
Like,
it.
as we record
as
them?
we record them.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, we're recording this today, the 23rd. If it comes out tomorrow, the 24th, 5th, so be it.
Yeah,
The episodes come out. Okay, it might be 3 times a month, 4 times a month. Who knows?
once we're in a better mental state, we should try to bulk.
Yeah. Oh
Once
yeah,
we
sure.
Get
But
once we
now,
get the rest of things, but yeah, for now,
right now, I think we're just gonna run with it, dude. No pressure on it. Just let's fucking.
we have enough
if
pressure.
we have
everywhere
some
else.
time. Just throw on some pod, whatever.
Yeah.
Like if we have, if we're just hanging out,
Yeah,
it's like, do you want to record 40 minutes? We'll post it, whatever. For fun, who
Yeah.
cares? Doesn't have to be an hour 15. Doesn't have to be, and I prefer it. Like it does, but these could perform good too. Because it's like a little bit shorter format. Who knows?
yeah, no, definitely.
So for now, we're winging it. We'll get episodes out as we record them.
Yeah.
And we're gonna shoot for like 1-ish a week, probably one every 8-ish days, give or take.
And we're trying to still keep quality.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
no,
we're trying not to
we're
just like sit here and like talk
Well,
about
that's
nothing.
the problem, right? Like if we force every Monday, the quality will drop off. It won't even be worth listening to.
Yeah, like how most of our pods, it's like we're sitting here talking about a topic,
Yeah.
and then we're like, this is a good way to at least get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Like how we did with the interpersonal relationships
Yeah.
and everything.
No, exactly. So, yeah. For now, winging it. Eventually, the schedule will be maintained. So for now, thank you for joining us, folks. Till next time, I guess.
Peace.
Ciao.